Hello, this is Tyler Golden Yoshi here, and today I'm showing you a really cool mod. It modifies Minecraft's physics to be more Quake-like. So what I mean is, you now have better air control, with strafe jumping. And you can bunny hop to gain speed. Lots and lots of speed. So if you like going really fast, this is the mod for you. So this also adds a modified version of Fortress Forever's trimping mechanic. And it also adds sharking, which basically lets you surf across the surface of any body of water, so long as you're moving really fast. So what I'm doing right now is called bunny hopping. I'm gonna stop for a moment to show you why this works. Why bunny hopping makes you go faster. I also have a complementary mod to go with it. It's called Squeedometer, and this mod is called Squake. I'll link to both of them in the description of this video. So as you can see, when I strafe and move the mouse with those strafes, I actually briefly gain a little bit of speed, but it quickly goes down, and I'll explain why. What's holding you down in terms of movement speed is actually friction with the ground. And one quirk of the Quake engine, and subsequently all engines that are based on Quakes, is that you actually strafe faster than you move forward. And this goes along with the turning. You gotta turn with your strafe. It's just gotta be real smooth. Not too fast, not too slow. It takes a lot of practice to get this right, but basically, you gotta strafe smoothly. You gotta turn with your strafe rather smoothly. If you make too sharp of a turn, you will start losing speed. You do not hold forward, because that will just make you gain speed at a lower rate. In this mod, you can just hold space to bunny hop. That's not quite the case in Quake, but it is such in Fortress Forever. But you can just buffer the jump if you just let go of space and then press space and then hold space while in the air. Do that repeatedly. That does make bunny hopping easier. So, anyway, as I've already stated, when the player walks on the ground, he's actually experiencing friction, which, of course, holds you back in movement speed. So, if you have as little contact with the ground as possible, or in this case, actually make the game think that you have no contact with the ground. Another quirk with the Quake engine. Right, I didn't mean to trimp there, but anyway, so yeah, basically to bunny hop, you just have to hold space. You you know, you gotta have a moving start for it if you really want to start with a bit of speed. Um, like you can start with a sprint and jump, and then you can start doing bunny hopping. So yeah, this takes a lot of practice to get right. So as you're jumping, you want to strafe and turn into your strafe. You know, it's got to be really smooth. If you make it too sharp, you'll actually start losing speed. And then, yeah, and if you keep this up correctly, you'll be getting it really, really fast. So, like right now, I'm moving about 18 blocks per second, and that's pretty fast. To Trimp, it's not quite like Fortress Forever's trimping. To Trimp, you have to be moving fast first off, and then while you're in the air, hold shift, and the sum of your horizontal speed will actually convert to vertical speed, which makes you move very, very, very fast, and it lets you it lets you jump very, very high if you're moving really fast. See, like what I just did. So, yeah. Anyway, to do sharking, you just, you just bunny hop and then, land into any body of water and just hold space and you'll just, like, glide across the surface while still moving really, really fast. Although you still have to account for currents. You actually want the current. You actually do not want to land in a current that's like moving faster. Like moving the opposite direction you're moving. So you gotta account for currents and try not to land in a current that would slow you down. See, I just sharked right there. It can even be like basically a puddle. You'll still and you're still like, moving really quickly across that surface. So yeah, this is a really cool mod if you loved playing Quake, especially at high level, or any game that allows you to do bunny hopping for lots and lots of speed. Anyway, and this, this does go well in PvP as well. For example, you know how, you actually, move really slow while you're using the bow, while you have it primed. If you bunny hop, you will actually not lose much speed. So you actually do lose some speed, but again, you're no longer slowed to a crawl while using the bow. So that is very practical in a PvP environment. And if you're not strafing at all, then you won't lose any speed at all. So that is very good for PvP as well. And it does not render speed potions useless. Speed potions can actually enhance this because it can give you better starting movement speed. So let me show you. I got the splash potion of speed here. It gives us some better starting speed, so we basically can become very, very fast in less time. So, yeah, I love this mod. It's very cool, and it helped me understand, how to bunny hop in Quake-like games. Like, Fortress Forever. Bunny hopping used to be a thing in a Half-Life and Team Fortress Classic, but that has since been made very, very unreliable to do consistently. I wish Valve would revert that change, because bunny hopping is a very, very big thing in a lot of Quake-like games. So yeah, if you're really big in advanced movements in video games, this is definitely worth checking out and playing with. And I wish people would make some parkour maps for this, because I think that would be a lot of fun to play with. And yeah, this would also be very good for a PvP environment. And it also makes the game a lot faster paced, although it probably does increase the skill floor. So anyway, another thing we can talk about is how it can be configured. Yes, there is a configuration file for this mod. So, like by default, there is no speed cap. I think, like by default, the speed cap is probably the terminal velocity the player has when falling in vanilla Minecraft, which is very high. And basically, terminal velocity means the point where you just stop gaining speed while you're falling. Anyway, another thing is, you can actually configure soft and hard caps. Basically, a soft cap is where you're not actually limited to that cap. You'll just start like losing speed until you get down to that. And then there's the hard cap, which basically is where your speed is capped altogether. Those are off by default. You can also configure if players are able to shark and trimp. If you don't want trimping or sharking, you can disable that in the configuration. You can also configure how sharp you can turn before you start losing speed. So if you think if you would like to be able to make sharper turns while still maintaining a lot of speed in bunny hopping, you can configure that too. So I hope you enjoy this mod showcase, and I'll be seeing you guys later.